Okay, well, welcome to episode 13 of SDRs on Mars. I'm here this week with Chehak Sharma, and Chehak is going to tell you a little bit about what she does in just life and in sales.
Thanks, Jeremy. Jeremy, sorry about that. Thanks, Jeremy. I do thank you for giving me this opportunity to have this chat. So I am currently working with CIBC. I'm working as a sales support coordinator. I came here like in 5 years back. Within my role, so I have actually worked in two different companies. Before this, I was working as a social media coordinator for a different company. Then I jumped to CIBC and started working as a sales representative. Now I just moved to the sales support coordinator role just this year in April. And right now, my main responsibilities are that I act as a liaison between HR partners, new hires, and senior managers for mobile advice channel in Alberta, Central Canada, and as well in Northern Ontario. So I'm mainly handling onboardings of all the mortgage advisors in this area
Okay,
and
cool.
terminations. Yeah.
And are you working out of Toronto?
Yes, I'm working
Okay,
out of Toronto. Yeah.
perfect. And so the reps that you work with, are they
Mhm.
are they all in Toronto as well, or are they like across Canada?
No, they're all in actually central Canada. Nobody I support is in Toronto. So it's all online and it's a remote position for everybody.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And so how do you like the remote working world?
Okay, I had my reservations about it before I moved to work from home in February this year.
Okay.
So I pretty much worked in the office throughout the pandemic last year because I had my reservations about, having to sit at home, being lazy. But honestly, I started liking it so much. You don't have to commute, and I don't have to spend time to get ready, make my meals and stuff. So it just gives me a lot of free time that I can use in doing different things. I like it so far. But of course, I'm not the person who would want to work from home forever.
Right. Okay. Do you
Yeah.
think now that you have this experience, you would probably like? Do you think you would go back to like full time in office, or would you be looking for sort of that hybrid or something? What do you think is a sweet
I'll
spot?
be I'll be going for hybrid for sure. Not full time, not fully remote hybrid. I did talk to my manager and well, let's see. We're not going to office anytime soon, but definitely hybrid.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
a lot of organizations are leaning towards like hybrid,
That's
but
true.
yeah, from what I've seen, some people want to be in the office full time, some people want to be remote full time. So I think flexibility is key.
Exactly, that's true. And also like the type of role and your responsibilities also like I don't have to be in office every day, so which is
And,
fine.
and I'm sort of interested because you like started in a marketing role or like a
Yes.
marketing role. You moved into like a customer service kind of thing, and then more hands-on sales, and now sales support. So
Yes.
it's a little bit of a change in their sort of progression of roles there. But
Hello.
even moving from marketing into sales is a big change. Like, why do you think you wanted to make that leap?
Well, okay, so in my marketing role, I started with that organization as an intern and they promoted me to like of course I had different promotions in that organization, so eventually I ended up being as a working as a social media coordinator. And at that point I kind of realized, oh, and I was going to get a promotion to marketing manager as well, but I kind of realized that okay, marketing is good. I used to think that's my end goal too, like to be in a marketing field. But I'm the person I've realized throughout my time that I've started working full time that I need to keep learning, doing new things. So I thought, why not? Let's get into something different. I mean, sales and marketing are related, right?
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, when you are dealing with customers on first hand basis, you're gathering a lot of knowledge about how do they react to different type of products, or what does that attract the customers most. So my goal was to get into the customer service. Of course, CIBC has, I'm going to say, as a national bank, has better benefits as well. So that would, I'm not going to lie, that was also one of the things that I made this
That's
move.
fair.
Yeah. But again, so I just like to think that staying in one field is not good enough for me because I get bored fast. I
Right.
need, right? I need to keep learning and keep growing myself. So I got into this role thinking I'm going to get more knowledge about how, a mind of a customer works. Through marketing, you don't get to interact with clients directly. So that was my main motivation, and other personal stuff too. Um, and then I got the support coordinator role, sales support coordinator role, thinking. So my journey has been a little bit, I know, adventurous because I have made some different moves, right? But now, like, when I'm learning new things, I'm realizing what I really want to do in future, which is basically to be in an executive role, to be in administration. Sorry about that. So I am just trying to gather knowledge into different from different departments to be able to be expert. Even in marketing, you got to know each and everything, right?
Hmm.
How it works on the back end, how it works on the front end, what's going on with the sales team. So I just feel this is beneficial for me to be able to achieve my goals and whatever I have in future for me.
Okay. And
Hmm.
so, give me a little bit of a breakdown, like customer service versus sales versus
Hmm.
sales support. What are like the
Hmm.
different focuses of those kind of roles?
Okay, sure. So customer service is mainly dedicated to, servicing people with their needs every day, with their everyday needs. It does not, it does involve, depending on the company you're working for, it does involve a little bit of sales targets, but it's not that the major focus, then it's not the main focus there. But when you move to a sales representative role, the main focus would is basically upgrading products, selling new products, retaining clients along with the customer service.
Hmm.
And I was working, like, my previous two roles in CIBC was in credit cards. Right now my role is more of a sales support coordinator for mortgage advisors. So in this role, I'm not doing any direct sales, but I am supporting with their everyday needs, with their onboarding, if there are any termination requests every day to help them make the sale
Right. Okay.
indirectly. Yeah, indirectly.
And so you mentioned that moving from marketing into sales was sort of an interesting thing because you got to speak to like clients at the on the other end.
Right.
How much client interaction do you get right now?
Right now, not a lot. Zero.
And is that something that you think you would be looking forward to again? Is having that client interaction piece?
Not really.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I know. I This is what I learned because sales was not something that I always thought of getting into,
Hmm.
but it was a move that I took, and I'm happy that I took it because I learned a lot of skills
Hmm.
while selling stuff, because you got to have better communication skills, negotiation skills, everything. So I like that I learned those skills, but at this moment I don't think I would want to go back to a direct client service role. But I keep changing my mind, and if I think this is going to be something I really want to learn, then maybe you'll find me talking to me in the next 5 years.
Right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I would like to mention this. So I have this. So I love social media since I was a kid. Before, I was doing it just as a social media, interacting with people. But I do want to kind of get my hands on having like freelance social media marketing
Okay.
things. Yeah. So that, I think, if I do get into direct interaction with clients, that would be the thing that I can say I'll be doing.
It is
Direct.
interesting how
Mhm.
you just mentioned like your experience with sales. It adds so many skills that are applicable to so many different other things.
Definitely, I agree. So I'm an introvert, or I would say I was.
Yep.
Having to talk to 70 people in a day was a big no for me, and on the phone. And I took the job, and I'm like, to heck, just make sure you're doing the right thing and you can do it, right? So I was, oh my God, I used to be so nervous. But I learned how to be not introvert or how to be introvert, but again, sell stuff, talk to people, give proper service. It helped me a lot in my communication skills as well.
Right.
So this skill that I've learned, I can use it anywhere, any role I get into, and it is very important to have that skill.
Chehak, I like that a lot because
Oh,
there's
thanks.
a definitely like this profile that everyone thinks of it like when a salesperson like the super outgoing person that just like wants to
Yeah,
talk to everyone all day and they're like very like motivated just like close the sale.
exactly. Yeah.
So I consider myself a little bit introverted as well, and I'm super
Mhm.
analytical. So I don't fit that mold either, and I think it's
Same.
yeah okay cool. So how did you like what are some strategies that you use to sort of come out of your introvert shell a little bit and experience that role?
Okay, I'm gonna say thanks to my manager who was helping me in training because, like, as they have special ways to train people, like, so first strategy is, of course, work on the feedback that you get from your manager, especially for someone who doesn't like to talk to people, like, not in a bad way, but just, doesn't like it. We would have coaching. So that was for everybody, but my coaching was mainly, like, how can I improve the skills or learn the skills that allows me to make the sale and complete the sale. Other than that, I kind of try to start I started mending my own mind, thinking like, to heck, for how long you're gonna stay like this is your job, everyday job. You can't struggle with, like, oh my god, I have to talk right now. I mean, I'm giving a really bad impression at the moment, but it's just like, you can cut it off if you want to. But then I started actually mending my mind accordingly, like, it's a sale, of course. And another thing is, I am the person, for me to be able to sell anything, uh I need to like that product as well. If I don't like it, how am I going to sell it to people? So have proper knowledge about what you're selling, right? Keep your things updated, like, just keep reading. So the first thing I would do in the morning is go to the knowledge center and read what has changed, what is going to be beneficial that I can use. So I also created certain, I'm going to say, phrases where I can, which, if I'm not, like, if I'm stuck, like, thinking, oh my god, what do I do, what do I say, so I have that sheet in front of me, my Word document, this is how you're going to present it.
Right.
So I was kind of coaching myself, and of course my manager a lot, like, with every call, like, so every call was a practice call, right, until you get perfect in that. So I would create a document sheet, like, this is what you need to say to have this done. You must do these 10 things every day to, achieve your target, if not 100%, at least 80% or 50%. Once you start seeing that progress in terms of numbers, you want to increase the numbers. You don't want to, then, like, I didn't want to stay at 50%, then I wanted to make it 100%. So I had a eventually, when I went moved to the service sales specialist role, I had a document going on, like, this is the target, I got to divide this, I need to do this every day, like 20 units of this or 5 units of this, whatever.
Okay.
So I was just, taking it off. Okay, 2 down, 4 down. This is what I got to catch up next day. And if I can do it, yeah, it does make you, like, in sales, you feel kind of sad if you're not able to, get the targets. I feel sad. But eventually, if you just keep your numbers in front of you, and then you would just keep working on it. So that was my strategy.
Cool.
Feedbacks, keep in mind my numbers, and just prepare myself. Do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And actually, so it's really interesting because like I mean the way that you just explained that to me, like I think about
Mhm.
that as like it's reverse engineering a role, right? You're like, this is the outcome I want. What do I have to do every day to get there? And
Exactly.
you found that that is something that really helped you a lot as like an introvert.
Of course. So then it was not about, then the focus was not about, oh my God, I have to 70 people a day. The focus was more about, I have to improve my performance.
Okay.
So it's like, perspective has changed. I'm not nervous about talking to people. I'm getting a call. I'm telling them things. I am like, hey, you should get this because this is beneficial for you this way. And it's more like I'm doing it for myself to improve my numbers because I like to excel in things that I do. If I'm not doing that, I'm going to be honestly disheartened and disappointed. So I need to keep my motivation up. No, other things can be, like put on the side.
Right. And I'm gonna jump on it for a second with that because I think you're
Okay.
right. Specifically working in sales, there's so much. It's like the highest of highs, and like when you don't do that thing, it's like low. So,
Exactly.
did you have any like strategies for how you can actually like kind of bring some energy back to your day or something just outside of sales? Like, how do you jump back on that horse?
Um, okay, good question. I had some things, it's been a while. Well, okay, so if I feel like, oh my God, this wasn't done, because I do criticize myself a lot. Sorry about that. Not good for me, but I do that. So I would just, um, so we had a team on MS Teams. We had a group of everybody in my team, had a group there. So we would just talk to each other when I'm feeling low, like, oh my God, this is what I couldn't do, right? So we talk to each other, and somebody else is going to suggest, like, this is what you should have done. Or talk to my um, manager about that. Like, hey, this is what I felt that I could not do at that call. Like, what do I do? What do I need to do next to be able to complete that sale if I get the same objection?
Hmm.
And or else, I'm sorry, this is my bunny. I have a bunny here.
That's okay.
um, yeah. And the other thing was basically, yeah, just have fun. Like I like to have fun while I'm working. So I would send gifs and funny messages and start a chat. People are like, "Why are you texting so much?" I'm like, "This is my way to kind of release my stress right now. You don't need to respond to me. I'm just gonna send a funny gif and everybody can be happy." That's
Awesome.
what I did. Yeah.
I'm super allergic to bunnies, so I appreciate the fact that we're on a
Oh,
video call right now.
oh, I am. Oh, hey, I am too.
Really? And you have a bunny?
Be- it's not actually just mine. My housemates got it,
Okay.
but I don't go very close to it. But it sometimes comes around me, and I can't help it. But I don't hug or anything because then I'm gonna get sick too.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So you were talking a little bit about some objections and like how can I do that next time? Can you give me an
Yeah.
example of like what some of those objections might have been?
Sure. So the first objection is the cost of the product, right? I can't tell you the details, but let's say for whatever I was selling, a credit card, there if there's an upgrade, and it is most of the we like as a customer, I understand those objections. Because if somebody tells me like, upgrade this your credit card to a card where you have to pay $120 a year, the only thing I'm going to first think about is why do I have to pay if I can have it without having to pay, right?
Hmm.
So that was the first objection that you would get in the type of products that I was selling. So it's all about the way how I would handle it, or we were taught to handle it, is explain about the benefits. It's not just about the money. Like you have to pitch it in a way that it makes sense to them to pay for that product. Like you got to tell them the benefits of the product. You got to tell them how is that 120 going to be worth, because it's just 120 for an year, right? And most of the cards, like not just the CIBC's card, any card give you purchase security. Some cards give you trip cancellation, trip interruption insurances. If you just talk about those insurances, if you're paying for a random one trip, you're gonna end up paying $100. So if you're just paying for your credit card once in a year, you can have as many as trips. So
Right.
it's about explaining them the different aspects or different benefits that the product is going to give them in detail, and also it's also about to create that connection where the client is comfortable to talk to you and discuss their objections.
That makes sense. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And so while you were like, this is also a bit of a different environment. I've definitely never sold like financial services.
Yeah.
So what do you think was like a useful tool for you in this kind of role?
Well, would you say like okay, well, I believe all big companies have their own tools because we had tools that I don't think anybody else would have. So we had tools where you can compare between two cards. You can find it on their website as well. Most of the websites have it. Like you compare between two cards. So if let's say I'm selling you a card and you come to me be like, "Oh, I have a card from a different bank. There it's the same price. How does it make difference for me if I get yours?" You're going to compare it between we had a comparison tool and I'm just going to that helped me a lot because I'm
Hmm.
comparing it and telling them why is my product better than the other company's product. And other than that, most of the cards gives you those rewards points and stuff. So we had a reward calculator too. You can also find that in their website. I feel like I'm doing an advertisement for CIBC, but I'm not. But you can also find it on their website. It's no inside information. So you would just talk to them like, hey, listen, if you're spending this much, this is what you're going to get by the end of the year in your rewards. And this is what it's worth. So that was the best tool I'm going to say that has helped me to make sales because people like to get free things. Even I do. So if you can tell them like it's not just that you're getting a trip cancellation insurance, it's also that you're getting by the end of the day, end of the year, if you spend $20,000, you're also getting 20,000 points on your card, which points you can use to buy, I don't know, a ticket because some travel points give you tickets like a return ticket from New York to Toronto. Like there are so many benefits, right? So rewards calculator was best. It's about finding the tool that helps you what's the right word? In explaining the benefits of your products in a best way possible. So you can just, in one line convince your client this is good for you rather than having to go on and on about just one thing.
Right. Okay. Cool. Um, and so this bit of a change of topic. If you're
Mm-hmm.
considering, you're probably not looking to get right back into sales based on our conversation so far. But like,
Sorry.
yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not, it's definitely not a role that works for everyone. But what I like about it
Yeah,
is that you illustrated that it helped you build skills that are useful.
definitely.
And so now with those skills,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think would be some important factors for you to consider looking at other sales support roles, or even
Mm-hmm.
if you were to consider a sales role, what would you tell someone?
Like why do I want it? Like, is
Yeah,
that your
like if
question?
someone's
Okay.
considering like a sales role, what would you tell them are
Mm-hmm.
the benefits of it?
Of course. Sorry, the skills you're going to learn. That's the first thing, right? Not everybody has the best communication skills. Like you mentioned in the beginning, not everybody's outgoing. I wasn't, and I'm still not, but I learned a lot of skills from that. And it's also a starter job. See, we're everybody's trying to make sales. And this is a very, I used to dread sales role, I am telling you. But what I learned was skills, time management, right? So time management is important, and that's what you're going to learn from your sales role. You're also going to learn how to keep up with the targets. You're also going to learn how to work with a team and individually to attain the goal for your team and yourself. So it's a lot of balancing that you have to do when you are making those sales and you're working on other projects. So there are a lot of things that you can learn from a sales role. This is why I would recommend anybody to get into that role once in your life because you're going to learn a lot. And sales role is appreciated. Everybody loves that you have a sales experience. Tell me if I'm lying.
I think it's I appreciate it.
Yeah, everybody does. I'm telling you, if you have a sales experience, even in the marketing role, like if I let's say if I do decide to get into marketing back, I can tell the new employer like, hey, I have marketing experience and I also have a sale experience in sales. So I know how to work behind the marketing team, like at the back end, and I also know how to interact with people. So whatever material I'm going to create, it's going to be based on my direct interactions, right? So it's useful for me, and sales is useful for you no matter what you get into.
Awesome.
That's
Cool. I
I
like that.
believe. That's what I believe. Yeah.
Okay. And so now is sort of in this support role. How do you
Yeah.
like? How do you sort of realize priorities? Like, how do you get your day laid out for you now?
So okay, I have a. You know how we can add the tasks, not even tasks, reminders in our Outlook calendar.
Mhm.
So I have that ongoing. Right now, I'm training somebody, and that's what I showed them too, and they loved it. So first, I thought, I'm gonna make an Excel sheet, but I'm like, I'm not gonna open the Excel sheet. I'm definitely gonna forget it because there are 1,000 things to do. So I just created a reminder, like this is the task for today. So, like day at the end of my day, I check, like, I just update that task list that this is what I've done, this is what I need to do tomorrow. So that's how I kind of manage my day, set up my priorities. Of course, I know what things needs to be done before the deadlines because we do have a lot of deadlines, especially on Fridays.
Mhm.
So, so I just have everything ready for my next day, a day before, and that's the reminder gonna pop up at 9:30. I start at 9, and I just go with that, and everything else can just happen in between.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, what does a productive day in sales support look like versus maybe a day where you didn't accomplish all the tasks?
Productive day would be where I have sorry, what's the word? Yeah, I have accomplished all the deadlines. And the one where which I find, like, no matter how many tasks I do in a day, if I wasn't able to get to that deadline, which doesn't necessarily have to be on my part, because in my role I do talk, like, I have to coordinate with different teams all over the Canada, right? All over Canada. So if I'm not getting something that I was supposed to get from a different team and I wasn't able to finish that task, that is not efficient for me, no matter if I answered 50 emails or 100 emails.
Right.
So,
Okay.
yeah. So that's the thing.
And do you think, actually, maybe I should phrase this a little differently.
Hmm.
How do you think working in a sales role directly
Yeah.
has helped you understand how to support salespeople?
Oh, a lot. Because, you understand how important is it to have the tasks done for them to be ready to make the sale. Like, when, let's say, I was in a contact center role. So I if I don't have the information for the product I'm selling, right, I cannot sell it. So I am depending on the people who are going to give me that information. So, in the similar way, those mortgage advisors are dependent on me so they can make the sale for their everyday tasks, right? There are many tasks, important tasks that I do for them. If I'm not sending it in the time, like, I understand the importance of teamwork and how they're dependent on me, because I have worked in sales role already. So that's how, I guess, I think I did I answer your question?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I
That does
did.
that does the job for sure. Okay,
Okay.
cool. So I'm always curious to know how people kind of start their day and what that routine looks like. Do you
Yeah.
have like a morning routine, or like what does that look like for you? How do you do it?
Well, okay. Since I started working from home, there's no morning routine. Wake up, get a cup of coffee, and start working. That's what I have, and then
That's
I
the
start my
routine.
day. Yeah, after I'm done with, like, after I have had my coffee intake, then I kind of wake up and start working on other things.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Awesome. Yeah. I mean, I kind of like to just jump into it for a second as well. So
Hmm.
I get that.
Sure.
I usually like to have a minute to kind of look at the day and assess, like, what's coming up and what I need to, like, focus on and make sure it happens on that day. But
Right.
I do like to take a break maybe after like half an hour just to make sure that I have a little time to like kind of digest and prepare myself.
That's true. No, I do it actually after I end my day. Like, today, I'm gonna prepare for tomorrow, so I know what I gotta do. So that's why I'm like, I'm gonna have coffee. I mean, I start working, I log in and everything slowly, but coffees that kind of gives me a kick, and then I'm like, okay, let's get on it and get this done.
Let's get it going. Perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I think that pretty much brings us to the end of the episode here, Chehak.
Okay.
So thank you so much for your time today. That's definitely, I love the insight because I don't get to talk to a lot of people who aren't just like, rah, sales.
Yeah. I know. That's true. Like I can't believe I did it, and I should be able to do it again too. But yeah, I get your point, and I'm glad I was able to give you important, meaningful insights. I was so nervous though.
Awesome. Okay, well, I'm glad that you showed up today to let me understand a little more, and also to
Thank you.
help our viewers understand a little more. Not everyone has to be this outgoing sales fanatic to gain some value out of that role.
Exactly. Like I like to see myself as somebody who's not perfect at sales, but I learned my way up to it, and anybody else can do it too if I can. I remember our senior manager telling me that how much I pushed my boundaries by taking a job where I was expected to take 70 calls a day.
Wow.
So if I can do that, anybody can.
Awesome. Okay, I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Perfect.
I think that's pretty much it. So
Okay.
when I release this episode, I'm gonna make sure to
Mhm.
tag you in it, so
Thanks.
people can kind of see what's going on, and
Thank
you can
you.
also share it if you would like, kind of thing.
Of
But
course.
yeah, that's pretty much what I've got for today. So thank you so much, Hack.